Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing / responding to a video recently made by John from FuhNaff. I feel like I have to talk about this. This video was, to me, sort of slanderous, and he made a lot of contradictions in this video. And so yeah, I'm going to be responding to some of the things that he had said. And yeah, let's get started with the video. Alright guys, and so first I'm going to play some of the video, and then I'm going to pause the video in between takes and kind of throw my opinion into it, and just kind of respond to some of the things that he says in this video.
Is we don't really know Scott, just like you don't really know me. You only know me from what I post on this YouTube channel, what I post on Twitter and Instagram, and I post a lot more than Scott Cawthon does. So we really only know him from posts on Steam and Reddit, and also from his donations to really great causes throughout the years, like Dawko's charity streams and etc., etc. And about the donating to charity thing, a lot of people were justifying Scott's donations to these politicians by saying, well, he's donated this much to charity. Isn't that crazy? Yes, it is crazy, and it is extremely amazing that Scott has donated some of his extreme wealth to great charities. But the reality of this, and I hope this doesn't offend you or anyone, but donating to charity doesn't make you free of making any mistakes and or even being a bad person.
All right guys, as you guys all just seen, John had a lot to say. He was basically just throwing out there that regardless of the many amazing donations that Scott Cawthon has done over the past few years, and I should just add that these donations added up to almost $2 million, which is very hard-earned money. Like, he didn't have to do any of that. He chose to do it from the kindness of his heart, and some of those donations also benefited many great things, including benefiting for the Black communities, and also for LGBT communities as well. And those are the things that people don't want to look at. He made zero mistakes. Scott Cawthon has nothing to apologize about. So for people to keep bringing this up in such a disrespectful manner is really the reason why Scott actually said that he's openly willing on retiring from this franchise, just because of the fact that he feels like he has to give up his opinions and his rights and everything else and what him and his family believe in for to please other people around him. And to me, that's not fair. We all deserve respect, and just because he's a celebrity that has fans, that does not take away his freedom, or that does not take away his right to vote, or his right to have his own beliefs. And that's what he feels like he's giving up in this moment by sticking with this franchise, because people want to judge him based on his beliefs. That's the whole reason why this all started to begin with. People were trying to find him, people were trying to find his home and attack his family. That's how this whole situation started.
I don't think Scott's a bad person, but donating to charity doesn't all of a sudden make you this like God who can do no wrong. And I think Scott used those things that he's done through the past 7 years to his advantage in this post. And a lot of Scott's post was kind of shaming people for judging him so fast, making it seem like we should have known better because of the things he's done the past 7 years. And I feel like that's a little bit manipulative.
All right, guys, so you see, this is the disrespectful things that I'm talking about. If anybody was the manipulator in the situation, it's the people that are trying to force Scott to change his opinion and his views to benefit their own views. And that, to me, is what's manipulative about this entire situation. People are trying to force Scott, because he's a famous person, because he has fans. They're trying to say, okay, Scott, we agree with this, and if you don't, then we're not going to support you, and we're going to cancel you, and we're going to make you feel like crap if you don't support what we view. And he cannot have his own beliefs, apparently, to these people. And that right there is the most manipulative thing that I can ever see anyone doing.
While looking through a ton of tweets during this weekend, I mean, I looked through probably most of the tweets under the hashtags and under the trending topic. I noticed that a lot of the tweets, I would say most of the tweets, are people saying, how dare you try and cancel Scott Cawthon? Don't cancel Scott Cawthon. He's a good guy. He has donated so much to charity, and he respects everyone. Do not cancel him.
All right, guys, so let's just be very honest here for a second. I don't know what tweets that John, said that he was reading, but I know that the tweets that I've seen and, the conversations that I have had with my friends in the FuhNaff community were solely based on the safety of Scott Cawthon and his family, because a lot of people were bullying them, threatening them. His wife is 6 weeks pregnant and she's scared for her life. She's scared for her baby that's not even born yet. And so this is all, guys, one thing that we all have to remember is that this is all over a political disagreement. This has nothing to do with Scott being harmful or violent to anyone. Scott was neither of those two things. And so for people to be, trying to get violent and figure out where he lives and threaten them and threaten his wife, I have seen people on Twitter and Instagram both saying that they hope that his wife that's 6 weeks pregnant has a miscarriage. Like, people are taking this to the very next level of violence, and that right there is what John is failing to talk about as well. Those are, political differences is something that we should definitely talk about, but we should also talk about people that are trying to take away other people's freedom, or people that are trying to bully and threaten and get violent with people over a political difference. So those are things that he's failing to talk about in this video, which is something that I cannot respect.
And I feel like a fewer number of those tweets were actual LGBTQ plus people who were reasonably upset about the situation. And a lot of those people were getting tagged for being upset about the situation, saying, he's a good person, you don't know what you're talking about. And with that, yes, there were bad people on both sides. Lots of people attacking each other for having an opinion. Kind of ironic. And I think a lot of LGBTQ plus voices got silenced this weekend, and it was really disappointing to see that. People were so caught up in defending Scott for having an opinion that they were literally doing the thing that they were fighting against. I think there was no listening going on this weekend. I think both sides are to blame in this situation. It was kind of just a dumpster fire, and I think Scott threw some oil on the fire and said, well, this is it. I mean, if you don't accept this, I'm leaving. And I think that was a poor way to go about this. He kind of just said, well, if my past 7 years of charity and being nice to everyone hasn't proven enough to you that I'm a good person, then I guess I should retire, because, if they can take it away from you, it probably had no value to begin with. And that was really disappointing to hear from Scott.
All right, everyone, I'm going to end the video here. As you guys can tell, it's very disappointing what's happening in the FuhNaff community right now. All I have to say is this is just my final notes. I would never accept violence. Violence is never, ever, ever the key. It's never okay, especially if it's over something as small as a political difference. If you guys want to fight, people's political differences, you take it to the polls and you vote. And that's how you can make a change in whichever aisle you stand on, whether it's a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, whether you are an independent. You take your fight to the polls. That's how we do it. That's how Americans do it. So just remember that, violence is never, ever okay. And I will forever respect Scott Cawthon for how he handled this situation. He and his family both handled this situation with so much dignity and class, and I have so much respect for them. And I can just, tell you now that Scott has so much respect for people. He said it in his statement. He looks at people as just that, as people, and he respects people based on how they handle themselves and how they conduct themselves. So that's the same way I view life, and that's the same way we all view life. And yeah, we just need to learn to do better, because this is getting very out of hand over just, something as simple as a political difference. So yeah, guys, I'll end the video here, and I will see you guys on the next one.